Hey guys, I just finished Wuthering Waves version 1.0 storyline, and today I just want to make a fun video about all these characters in the game that are available to us. I just want to let you guys know what I think about them and which ones I like about them to all the way to don't like playing them. Without further ado, let's start with Spectral Rover. Actually, before we start, I just want to show you guys where I'm currently at, which my union level is 31 and my data bank is level 12. Now let's get right into it. Spectre Rover. So I didn't spend too much time playing with him, to be honest. He's our first 5-star free unit. The time I had of him, he's really easy to play, easy to learn. The moves are very simple, and I think that if I had time to play with him more, I would enjoy him more. But I chose to want to play with the other characters. But overall, I think my opinion on Spectral Rover is I can play it. It's fine. So the next character is Yang Yang. She's a character where we get right away beginning of the game. She's also an arrow type user. She's very useful sucking up TDs, so you can pull out outro and intro combos on them. Overall, I didn't really play her that much because I kind of swapped her out with other teammates. But I believe that if I would have stuck with her, she would have been an all-arounder. Good to start and also into the long run. So I would put her next to Spectral Rover. So our next character is Chisha. Chisha is our third character that we get in the game that's dual wielding and fusion element. Her kit is very unique and it looks very fun. I was planning on playing her a little longer throughout the game, but I ended up dropping her because her kit wasn't really synergizing with some of the other characters that I was playing. So I ended up dropping her kind of like halfway throughout the game. But I'm going to end up picking her up again because I really feel like she can be really fun to play. So we'll see about late game for her. But right now, I'm going to prefer to place her under... I prefer someone else. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Baizu. She is our first 4-star healer that's a glacial element. I ended up not really playing her much due to the fact that the first 50 discount pulls, I pulled Verena. So I swapped her out with Verena instead. But the time that I did play her, she seemed like she's very single target focused to somewhat mid AoE when you hold down her heavy attack. Overall, when I have to build her in the late game, when I have to build a second team to a third team, yeah, I'm going to need to pull her back out from the bench and kind of like test her to kind of see how she really works. But other than that, I would put her under I prefer someone else. So the next character I'm going to be talking about is Mortifi. He has the fusion element. His weapon is dual pistols. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to kind of play him for a long period of time because I only pulled him and tested him out for a little while. Overall, while I was testing him, his moves are very flashy. He's not too hard to play. And if I were to kind of pick him up, I'm pretty sure he'll be easily to kind of like synergize with any team that I can kind of combine compared to Chisha. Other than that, I would say that I'll put him under I can play it fine. So our next character is Tao Chi. She's Havoc element and a broadsword user. She's the last 4-star character that I pulled out of the banner. And her playstyle is about shield and kind of like defense, like protect your team, making them survive. Unfortunately, this type of playstyle isn't really my type of playstyle. I do like her ultimate. I feel like her ultimate does a lot of damage, but unfortunately, like I feel like the team that I kind of built up, kind of like didn't have any room for her, so I ended up just benching her in the end. So out of all that, I would put her under don't like playing. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is Sunhua. Sunhua is a glacial type element with the weapon choice of sword. She's actually my first 4-star character that I pulled other than Baiji. Every time I use Sunhua's E, her ice pops up and it kind of blocks my vision, kind of blocks my whatever I'm attacking, which kind of gets annoying. Whether it's from her skill or her ultimate. Liberation. And yeah, and her heavy attack mini game gets so annoying. Even if I can get it off, like it still leaves her open, like both ways from start to end. Yeah, so in the end, I never really liked her whole kit, so I just benched her the rest of the game. So I'm gonna place her. Don't like playing. So our next character is Encore. Encore is a fusion type element with the weapon Rectifier. Encore is actually my second 5-star unit that I actually pulled. Her kit is very unique, very straightforward, but also focused on animation swapping, which is her heavy attack and her skill. But the weird thing is her ultimate to be on its full duration, its full damage, she has to be on the field in melee range, which is her normal attack is usually range and her skill. So that kind of contradicts her whole kit. In the end, she is my second 5-star, so she's on my main team. But if I were to pull someone else like Lin Yang or Kocharo or even Jian, I would swap her out. So she's kind of in the border between I can play it fine and I prefer someone else. But in the end, right now, I would say I'm pretty used to her kit, so I'm gonna place her under I can play it fine. Next up, my favorite 4-star character, Alto. Alto is an arrow type user with the weapon choice of pistols. Now, what makes Alto so fun and unique is that he can disengage by leaving a decoy to distract the enemies, run through his little own mist to increase his speed, to reposition himself in the battlefield, and also summon a wall of mist by using his ultimate. Now, if you shoot through it, his attack also increases for a couple of seconds, which is really good because his attack is actually in the low side. But what makes him also great is that you can do all this all over again by swapping him out and swapping him back in. And that's what I love doing when I play him. That's why I make him my favorite, and I'll put him under I win with these. Next up, Verena. Verena is my first 5-star unit that I pulled from the discounted banner. Her element is Spectral, and her weapon is Rectifier. I really like Verena because she doesn't have to be on the field to heal my teammates. She can just pop in and out, and her healing passive can work. Granted, I still gotta use her ultimate and sometimes dish out a little damage here and there with her echo and stuff. But other than that, as long as she's not on the field longer than pretty much like 3 seconds, I'm fine with it. The other two in her team can work everything out. Other than that, I don't really know exactly what else she can do other than that. Granted, as long as she heals my team, that's all I really wanted. So like if I were to place her somewhere, I'll place her and I can play her fine. That's where I'm gonna place her. The next character I'm going to be talking about is Yan Wu. Yan Wu is a lecture type martial artist that uses gauntlets as weapons. He's close range combat that throws down a pillar onto the floor when you press his E skill, and his ultimate is him punching the enemies with his fist. Now, I didn't really test him that long, so I don't really know exactly what his kit actually do. But he does seem more like a defensive support type character. So I pretty much benched him after testing him out for like one or two times. Other than that, I believe he probably could have more potential if I spend a little more time with him. So I'm just gonna put him under. I prefer someone else. Alright, we're coming down to the last two, and the one I want to talk about is Dan Jin. Dan Jin is a 4-star Havoc Elemental user that's weapon type is sword. Dan Jin is the one that I use to carry myself in the beginning because she's constantly attacking with her normal attacks combined with her E, which is her Vengeful Blade. Her Vengeful Blade, every time you cast it, it costs HP. So there's a heavy price to constantly attacking. Now, I did pull Verena, which Verena's healing was not enough to kind of save her at times when I ride on like a thin line. But overall, she's still fun to play, and I still like her. Unfortunately, I had to swap her out for Encore because going back and forth for reviving her or using items, it gets annoying. So that's why I had to swap her out. Other than that, I would still love to play her if I could play a 4th unit, but you know, push come to shove, like she just cost me too much time. So yeah, that's Dan Jin. Alright, coming down to the last unit, Havoc Rover. I just got Havoc Rover finishing the main storyline, and while I was kind of playing with him for a little while, I feel like he hits hard, but he's actually slower compared to Spectre Rover. And it's like, well, that's a good balance between the two, if that's true. I haven't really confirmed this, but I feel like Havoc Rover does look cooler. His sword does turn into a scythe. I think when you use his ultimate, he gains like a little bit, a limited time with his scythe before it turns back to a sword. And I feel like he does hit harder. But the thing is that I just feel like he's slower. At least his animation is slower, which means that he'll like his damage per second is slower, but he does hit harder. At least that's just my opinion. I'm not too sure, but overall, like Spectre Rover, in the end, not Spectre Rover, Havoc Rover. I would prefer to play Spectre Rover over Havoc Rover if this is the case, because I like speed, and with speed, I'll be able to at least dodge at times. Of course, unless I overpress and then I make mistakes, and that's my fault. But yeah, like I believe that Havoc Rover doesn't really have a place for me at the moment, so I'll put him under. I prefer to play someone else. Alright, as we're nearing the end of the video, I'm just going to give you guys a quick opinion on the characters that I don't have. Starting off with the limited banner character, Gion. I don't like Gion's kit in the game. I've tried out in the trials and in the storyline. I feel like it doesn't really work in the game. Like as if he's too broken. And broken doesn't mean like it's a good thing. It could also be a bad thing. Overall, I would say that if I were to get him, I wouldn't play him. Yeah, I would not play him. I just don't like him in his kit. Next is Ling Yang. I really like Ling Yang's playstyle. If I have him, I'll put him in my main team for sure. Now the thing is that I don't have him, so I gotta put him down here. And most of the reason why I do like him is he has longer aerial attacks, and he roars. He roars. Next is Jian Xing. Jian Xing always leaves herself open when I play her, and also she is good against crowded mobs. But other than that, I don't really know what else I would do with her. Like the limited time that I played with her in the story, she wasn't really that fun. So I'll say that I'll put her in. I prefer someone else if I were to have her. And next is Kocharo. I know nothing about Kocharo other than that he has a broad blade as a weapon, and his element is electric. Yeah. Other than that, that's it. That's the end of my video. So if you guys like it, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And see you guys next time. I'm H20 Footprints. See you guys later.